Let's talk toys.
What's up, you guys? Toyshiz here, and I got a really rockin' fresh look for you today, courtesy of my friends over at Doming Toys. This is the brand new Hasbro Transformers Siege, the War for Cybertron trilogy, Walmart exclusive. And yeah, just FYI, I'm gonna give you a little bit of info later. If you want to go ahead and grab this from Doming, I'll have the links and everything below. Yes, being that it's a Walmart exclusive, you might find this thing on store shelves coming soon for this fall season. They're going to be doing a really cool 35th anniversary rollout. There's going to be a really awesome Megatron and Optimus Prime, and they're going to be in like their animated kind of color scheme using these Siege molds. And then you also have this really cool Soundblaster. You also have a blue streak, which I will be reviewing in just a short while. But yeah, when you have Soundblaster, in case anyone really knows, I had to do a little bit of research myself. It's one of those things where you kind of know about him, but basically Blaster and Soundwave in the Japanese version of Transformers beat each other to death, and then the tapes got his body and then like repurposed him, and then he becomes this blacked out Soundblaster. And he's actually really creepy, evil looking, and I'm really liking that. One other thing is that the Sound Blaster toy, when they were reissued way back in the G1 days and such, he was repurposed to be able to fit 2 different tapes, which I think I heard that he can, and he kind of looks bigger in the chest, so I'm really hoping we'll try that out as well. Really stoked to have not really a repaint per se, but pretty much an entirely new character. As you can see on the back, he's got a really cool black and red scheme. He's got that cracked chest. Really liking this Transformers 35th anniversary packaging. Really makes it stand out. It's got that red and the black going on this side. You get a really cool image of a repurposed Sound Blaster, Soundwave sort of deal. But in either case, really excited to get this guy open. Thank you again to Doming for sending this over. Let's get him open. This is the brand new Hasbro Transformers 35th anniversary, eventually Walmart exclusive, Transformers Siege War for Cybertron trilogy, Soundblast. Again, I wanted to say thank you to Doming Toys. Make sure you go and check them out. I'll have the link to their shop in the description below. They are an overseas company, but they get a heck of a lot of stuff in early, a lot of stuff that hasn't even hit store shelves. Now, some of these may be just a little bit more expensive, but they will guarantee that you get them, especially with Walmart exclusives being what they are. So definitely go and check them out, and I highly recommend Doming Toys. And here's Sound Blaster out of the packaging with his Decepticon counterpart, Soundwave. And like I said, this guy dies and then he gets rebuilt into Sound Blaster. And as you can tell, it is the exact same mold, albeit it is changed a bit because now, instead of going from a single cassette, much like its original G1 toy, it has been repurposed to have the ability to put 2 different cassettes in. So I'll be showing you that in just a second. As you can see from the side, he's just a little bit more chest heavy. He's gone from, let's see, Jim Lee to more of a Rob Liefeld design, if you will, if that's a good analogy. But it's not really something that hinders the character at all. It's just really actually kind of cool. You get to fit 2 tapes instead of 1. The next iteration of Soundwave, whatever his name may be, may have 3 tapes, and then the sky is just the limit. It might as well just be a carry case at that point. But I'm definitely digging this. I love this particular new Siege Soundwave. I think he's great. It works well with the laser beak. You put the Ravage in, the chest and everything. But this Sound Blaster is very cool because, well, they're kind of gearing more towards the more obscure things that I wasn't really into with Transformers growing up as a kid, really just not having the ability with the more Japanese type Transformers that took over when GA1 kind of finished here in the United States. But I really like the look of this guy. As you can see up close, he has amazing glowing red eyes. I absolutely love that. Of course, that is accent a little bit more with my red backdrop, but I love this guy. Always love the cracked chest on the original Soundwave. This one is great. Like I said, it's a little bit broader chest. He's got some orange going on. Really nicely detailed. This is part of my favorite aspect of this particular figure. This looks like, I mean, it's plastic, but it's painted in a way that looks like die-cast metal, and I absolutely love just the color scheme on it. It looks fantastic. Up here would have definitely benefited from the amount of paint on his legs. I think that would have been something just to put a little bit better because this rocks, and it's a little bit plain up here, let's just say on the arms. There's some red trim going on. Nothing really much on the back, we'll say, towards the back of his arms and legs. The back of him looks pretty good. It's got a little bit more of that kind of rubbed gunmetal sort of thing. But this particular Soundwave, of course, he doesn't turn into a cassette player. He turns into more of like a jet or something like that. But he's very cool, and much like the other Soundwaves, same exact articulation. He's got the cannon that comes off right here. You can pop this in and on his shoulder. This right here, it can extend all the way out if you like. This can go in his hand. His blaster can go every which way. It's a little bit of an articulated little pistol right there. That works. Real quick, the head rotates. You get really nice articulation out of it. This will open and close when you push the button, much like the original Soundwave. The Soundblaster is rocking it. And he's got so much detail going on inside. I love that. That is really, really cool articulation at the arms, the shoulders, single jointed. Not much articulation in the wrists at all. They just kind of move back and forth, but that's part of the transformation. Kicks out to the side, kicks up. These flaps will move with you, so he can kick all the way up. He's got single jointed knees and not really any rotation. These kind of sort of move a little bit, but I wouldn't say that it's anything articulation-wise, more again, transformation-wise. Just before we get to my favorite part of the whole review process for Transformers, you can actually put these two tapes inside, and you just go ahead and pop that right there, push them all the way down, and then close it up just like that. And you got two tapes inside his chest cavity. Works perfect. And then when you want to eject them, there you go. That works perfect. Just like the G1 days. Go get them. Ravage. Really? We're not... Oh, there you go. Yeah, see, he popped out just perfectly. Okay, let's transform this sucker. Here's the instruction booklet. God, this part. Now, I'm going to be honest, as I always am, this thing was hard for me to transform. I don't know why these Transformers compared... I mean, the same exact Soundwave and everything, and the backside is just a little bit bigger. That's all it really is, but it looks nice. You can put the tapes in there if you want in this mode. He's got a really nice paint scheme overall to him. It's a nice form. It's a space jet, something like that. But it's just not my cup of tea in terms of what I want to turn Soundwave into. And I just did get the re-release of G1, and I totally prefer that Soundwave. But it's nice to have a Soundblaster, but I always leave these bots in the robot form. Very rarely do I ever transform them. But compared to the Soundwave, and then now with Soundblaster, there's not really anything different to it. The backside's kind of plain, but it's a nice form. It's a nice aircraft, and overall, it's just okay. But it's just really not my cup of tea when it comes to what I want to transform Soundwave Soundblaster into. And just to show some height comparison, here he is with some other Siege figures, and then of course the brand new Cyberverse. You got the Alpha Trion and Gnaw, and then you got the Siege Sideswipe. He's a nice height. Again, same exact figure as Soundwave. Going to be the same exact height in terms of lining him up with your Decepticons. But I like him. He's a big, bulky figure. I like the black. I like the color scheme. And he does hold Laserbeak really well, of course, just like Soundwave on his arm. Overall, I like this figure. I like that it's a new figure. It is a repainted Soundwave, but he's got a bigger chest, so it really is a new character. So if you're a stickler like me and you got to have all the characters in particular, then I'm going to highly recommend him. Again, head over to Doming Toys if you want to grab him early. Of course, he will be a Walmart exclusive later in the fall, but if you want him now, make sure you get him. Head over there. Highly recommend him. But I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on this brand new Soundblaster. Will you be grabbing him? What do you think about the 35th anniversary packaging? Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk all things Transformers Siege. I absolutely love these figures. I think they're doing a fantastic job of bringing back G1, but in a brand new flavor, brand new flair, and having that old school while giving us something new, even though I really don't care for his alternate jet mode or whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, Constructicons inferior, Soundwave superior. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios. Oh, and one more thing before I go. If you are interested, much like the previous Siege Soundwave, you can actually transform this Soundblaster into his little search mode thing from the very first original Transformers Generation 1 cartoon. That's a pretty cool thing. I think it's not much. It's more just like a searchlight or a, I don't know, the thing that he just transforms into. But it was really cool. and I like that they put that touch on there, but it's kind of like a little secret mode if you didn't already know about it. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Have fun, get this Soundblaster, collect Transformers, yada yada. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.